Lord, today I come to you with my heart heavy due to the opinions of others that have affected me so much. How many times have I allowed the words of others to determine my worth and direct my steps? I recognize that I have given too much power to external voices, allowing them to drown out your voice in my life. Help me to filter what I hear, to discern between constructive advice and destructive criticism, and to remember that only your opinion of me remains true and unchanging. I want to learn to live free from this constant need for human approval that has fueled so much anxiety in my heart. Lord, I know that you created each of us uniquely and specially, with specific purposes that only we can fulfill. When I compare myself to others or when I try to mold myself to fit the expectations of others, I am rejecting the original design that you have drawn from my life. Forgive me for those times when I have devalued your creation by trying to be someone I am not. Help me to celebrate who you made me to be, with my quirks, talents, and even limitations. May I see the beauty in your plan for me, even when it doesn't align with what others expect. How many opportunities have I missed, Lord, for fear of others' judgment? How many dreams have I failed to pursue because someone said I couldn't do it? The anxiety of failing publicly has often paralyzed me, preventing me from taking the steps of faith that you have called me to take. Today, I ask for the courage to move forward even when the path seems lonely or when the voices around me try to convince me that I am headed in the wrong direction. Grant me the assurance that if I am following your will, no opposing opinion should lead me astray. Lord, I recognize that oftentimes worrying about what others think of me has been a form of idolatry in my life. I have placed human approval above your approval, seeking to please people instead of pleasing you. This reversal of priorities has caused me so much anxiety and frustration. Help me to restore the right order in my heart, remembering that I am called to live for an audience of one. May your gaze upon my life be the only one that truly matters, and may I find peace in that truth. Sometimes, Lord, criticism hurts deeply and seems to confirm my worst insecurities. In those moments, help me to remember that you know me completely and yet you love me perfectly. When harsh words try to define who I am, may I return to your words about me. Loved, chosen, forgiven, capable. Teach me not to internalize every criticism, but to take it to you in prayer, holding on to what can help me grow and releasing what only hurts me pointlessly. Lord, I know that living in complete disregard of the opinions of others is not wisdom. You have placed us in community, and often use others to counsel and correct us. Give me discernment to recognize when I should listen and when I should filter what I hear. Help me to identify the voices that reflect your truth in my life and to cherish those relationships that bring me closer to you, while setting healthy boundaries with those whose words pull me away from your purpose. How many nights have I spent tossing and turning, Lord, replaying conversations and wondering what others thought of me? This social anxiety has robbed me of my peace and rest. Today, I ask that you free me from this exhausting cycle of worry. When my mind begins to race with the opinions of others, gently redirect my thoughts to you. Teach me to surrender every social interaction into your hands and rest in the knowledge that you care for my reputation better than I ever could. Father, I have often allowed social media to fuel my anxiety about what others think. The constant exposure, the inevitable comparisons, the pressure for likes and positive comments, all of these have intensified my concern for the opinions of others. Help me to use these platforms wisely, remembering that the value of a life cannot be measured in digital metrics. May I set healthy boundaries with technology and find my identity in you, not in the reactions of others to what I share online. I recognize, Lord, that behind my fear of judgment is a deep desire to belong. You created us to live in community, and it is natural to want to be accepted. However, when this need becomes dominant, it turns into anxiety. Remind me that my most fundamental belonging is already secure in you. I am part of your family, accepted unconditionally by your love. May this assurance calm my anxiety and give me the confidence to live authentically, even when it means not fitting into certain circles. Lord, sometimes the opinions that are hardest to ignore are those that come from those closest to me. Family, close friends, mentors. When those I love express disapproval or doubt about my choices, my anxiety seems to multiply. Give me grace to honor these important relationships without allowing them to dictate my path. Help me to communicate my convictions with love and to maintain peace even when there is disagreement. May I love others without depending on their approval for every decision. I realize, Lord, that I often project judgments onto others that are really my own. I assume they are criticizing me when in reality they are busy with their own lives. This anticipatory anxiety has kept me trapped in a prison of my own making. Free me from this habit of assuming the worst and creating negative scenarios in my mind. Help me to give people the benefit of the doubt and not attribute malicious intent where it may not exist. Lord, when I look at your Son, I see someone who lived completely free from the tyranny of public opinion. He followed your will even when it made him unpopular, even when it was misunderstood and rejected. What a powerful example for me. I ask that you would give me that same inner freedom, that same clarity of purpose that guided him. May I fix my eyes on him and follow in his footsteps, learning to live to please you, not men. Help me, Lord, to remember that human opinions are fleeting and often change. What is criticized today may be celebrated tomorrow, and vice versa. This fickleness has fueled so much anxiety in me. May I instead anchor myself in your eternal and unchanging truths. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever, and your opinion of me remains constant. May this stability be my foundation when everything around me seems uncertain and the voices around me are contradictory. I recognize that many times the opinions of others affect me so much because I am not yet completely sure of who I am in you. When my identity is firmly established in your love, criticism loses much of its power. Help me to grow in this inner security, to know and believe deeply in what you say about me. May your word be the loudest voice in my life, overcoming all the other voices that compete for my attention and my heart. I would like to remind everyone that we have a special ebook available in the first pinned comment that can help to silence the main symptoms of anxiety a little. It is important to emphasize that this material complements, but never replaces, specialized support. Lord, I realize that my concern with other people's opinions often prevents me from being authentic. I wear different masks for different people, trying to be who I think they want me to be. This constant acting out has left me exhausted and fed my anxiety. Today, I ask for the courage to be genuine, to show my true self to the world, with all my imperfections and peculiarities. Help me to remember that you created me to be unique, not a copy of someone else, and that there is freedom in living authentically. I recognize, Lord, that often my anxiety about what others think is rooted in past experiences of rejection or humiliation. Those harsh words or moments of exclusion left scars that still influence how I relate to others today. I ask for your healing of these old wounds. Help me to forgive those who have hurt me with their opinions and to not allow past experiences to determine my present and future. May I find freedom from these negative thought patterns. Lord, sometimes I worry so much about what others think that I fail to notice how my own words affect those around me. My anxiety makes me self-centered when I should be attentive to the needs of others. Help me to shift my focus, to be more aware of the power of my own opinions, and to use them to build up, not tear down. May I be someone who speaks life into others, offering encouragement instead of criticism, acceptance instead of judgment. I realize, Father, that completely ignoring the opinions of others is not the goal. There is wisdom in listening to constructive feedback and considering perspectives that differ from my own. The problem arises when I give too much weight to these opinions, allowing them to determine my worth or my choices. Help me find that healthy balance, being humble enough to listen, but secure enough not to be controlled by what I hear. May I filter all opinions through the truth of your word. God, when I feel the weight of anxiety over the opinions of others, remind me to look to you as my example. You have been misunderstood, unfairly criticized, and even rejected by those you came to serve. Yet, you have never allowed those opinions to divert you from your purpose. Give me that same clarity of vision and strength of character. May I follow the path you have laid out for me, no matter how unpopular it may be in the eyes of the world. Help me, Lord, to remember that often the harshest criticism I receive has less to do with me, and more to do with the inner struggles of the one who delivers it. Hurt people, and they often project their own insecurities onto others. Give me the compassion to see beyond the harsh words and see the pain that may be behind them. May I respond with grace rather than defensiveness, and may that perspective ease some of the anxiety I feel when I am criticized. Lord, I recognize that sometimes I use worrying about what others think as an excuse to avoid taking risks or taking responsibility. It's easier to blame fear of judgment than to face my own fears of failure or inadequacy. Help me to be honest with myself about what's really holding me back. Give me the courage to face these inner fears and to take steps of faith, even when it means stepping out of my comfort zone and possibly facing criticism. I realize, God, that the freedom to not care about what others think doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process of renewing my mind, of replacing lies with truth, of building new habits of thought. I ask for patience with myself on this journey. On the days when I start to worry too much about what others think, gently remind me to turn my gaze to you. Celebrate with me each small victory, each moment I choose your truth over human opinions. Lord, when I feel anxious about what others think of me, remind me that you know me completely and love me perfectly. You see beyond appearances, beyond my mistakes and failures, straight to my heart. You know my motivations, my deepest desires, my secret struggles. And even knowing all of this, you love me. What security there is in this truth. Help me to rest in this perfect love that casts out all fear, including the fear of other people's judgment. I would like to remind everyone that we have a special ebook available in the first pinned comment that can help to silence the main symptoms of anxiety a little. It is important to emphasize that this material complements, but never replaces, specialized support. Lord, sometimes I wonder if I am being selfish in trying to ignore what others think. After all, shouldn't I care about the impact I have on people? Help me to discern the difference between considering others with love and being enslaved by their opinions. Show me how I can be sensitive to the needs of others without compromising who I am or the calling you have placed on my life. May I find this healthy balance that honors you and respects others. I realize, Lord, that often my anxiety about what others think arises because I am seeking from others something that only you can give me: validation, security, a sense of worth. Help me to turn my heart to you as my primary source of identity. When I am firmly anchored in who I am in you, the opinions of others will have no power to shake me. May I live from this inner security, free to love others without depending on their approval. Lord, I recognize that sometimes I hide behind a mask of indifference, pretending that I don't care what others think when, in truth, I am deeply wounded by their words. This defense is not true freedom. Help me to be honest about my wounds and bring them to you for healing. May I develop a genuine resilience that comes not from ignoring the opinions of others, but from processing them in healthy ways, holding on to what is helpful and releasing the rest. Sometimes, Lord, I am afraid to follow your direction because I know it might cost me relationships or the approval of people I love. This anxiety paralyzes me and prevents me from taking steps of obedience. Give me the courage to choose your approval above all others, trusting that you will take care of the consequences. Help me to remember that in the end, it is before you that I will give an account of my life, not before others. Lord, I realize that oftentimes the concern for the opinion of others is rooted in pride. I want to be seen as perfect, intelligent, successful, spiritual. This pursuit of perfection in the eyes of others has fueled so much anxiety in me. Help me to embrace my humanity, be transparent about my struggles, and find freedom in humility. May I live authentically, without the constant need to impress others or maintain a facade. Help me, Lord, to use wisdom in sharing my life with others. Not everything needs to be exposed, and there is value in keeping certain things private. Grant me discernment to know when to share and when to keep it to myself, not out of fear of judgment, but out of prudence. May I set healthy boundaries that protect my heart without completely isolating it from others. Lord, when I feel the weight of others' opinions, remind me that you know me completely and still love me. You see beyond appearances, beyond my mistakes, straight to my heart. I need not fear being fully known by you, because your love is unconditional. May this truth free me from the fear of human judgment and allow me to live with authenticity and courage. I realize, Lord, that too often worrying about what others think keeps me from serving effectively. I become so focused on how I will be perceived that I miss opportunities to be a blessing. Help me to keep my focus on you and the needs of others, rather than on my own image. May I serve freely and joyfully, without the constant self-consciousness that comes from fear of judgment. Lord, I sometimes feel overwhelmed by trying to please everyone around me. My spouse, my children, my parents, my friends, my coworkers. These conflicting expectations create so much anxiety. Help me to set clear priorities based on your will for my life. May I be able to say yes to what really matters and no to the rest, even when it means disappointing some people. I want to remind everyone that we have a special ebook available in the first pinned comment that can help to silence some of the main symptoms of anxiety. It is important to emphasize that this material complements, but never replaces, specialized counseling. Lord, help me to remember that often the thing I fear most, judgment and rejection from others, is not as devastating as I imagine. When I have the courage to be authentic, I often find that others respond with acceptance and even admiration, not criticism. And even when rejection comes, you sustain me and give me the strength to move forward. May I live with this broader perspective, without being controlled by the fear of, what if? I realize, Lord, that when I am secure in you, I can receive criticism in a very different way. Not as attacks on my identity, but as opportunities for growth. Help me to develop this humble, open-minded attitude toward feedback, able to discern what is helpful even in words that initially seem harsh. May I grow through criticism, rather than be destroyed by it. Lord, sometimes I worry so much about what others think that I become inauthentic on social media, presenting only an edited, perfect version of my life. This constant performance creates so much anxiety and disconnects me from who I really am. Help me to use these platforms with integrity, sharing genuinely, without the need for constant validation through likes and comments. Help me, Lord, to cultivate relationships with people who truly know me and love me for who I am. These safe relationships can be a powerful antidote to the fear of judgment. When I feel deeply known and accepted by others, it becomes easier to deal with the possibility of misunderstanding or rejection by others. May I invest in those friendships that anchor me and give me courage. God, when I feel anxious about what others think of me, help me to turn my gaze to you and your opinion of me. You tell me that I am loved, chosen, forgiven, and empowered. These truths are more real and more important than any human opinion. May I meditate on these truths daily until they become louder than the voices of criticism and judgment that surround me. Lord, I want to thank you for hearing me and for understanding so fully the struggle with the opinions of others. Thank you for your unconditional love that accepts me exactly as I am. Help me to find my identity and security in you so that I can live free from the fear of human judgment. May I use this freedom not to isolate myself, but to love and serve others more fully, unfettered by social anxiety. If you were touched by this prayer, be sure to subscribe to our channel and share it with someone who may be struggling with anxiety related to the opinions of others. Together, we can find strength and hope through faith and community.